Narrator. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. The thought of visiting the doctor often conjures images of waiting rooms, clinical settings, and perhaps a touch of apprehension. For some, it's a routine checkup, a proactive step in maintaining health. For others, it's a necessary visit prompted by symptoms, a concern, or the need for professional advice. Regardless of the reason, effectively communicating with your doctor, understanding medical advice, and advocating for your own health are crucial skills. It's about empowering yourself in a potentially intimidating environment, ensuring your concerns are heard, and actively participating in your healthcare journey. Understanding the various types of doctor visits, common anxieties, and effective communication strategies can help us approach these appointments with greater confidence and clarity. Today we're delving into the practical, sometimes stressful, but always essential world of visiting the doctor. We'll hear from two individuals who have different experiences with healthcare. Emily, who emphasizes preparation and clear communication, and Ben, who has sometimes found doctor visits challenging and learned to be more assertive. By listening to their reflections and shared wisdom, you'll not only significantly enhance your English comprehension but also pick up valuable vocabulary for discussing symptoms, diagnosis, treatments, medical procedures, and patient advocacy. Stay with us until the very end for a comprehensive practice session that will help you articulate your own experiences with doctor visits and confidently communicate your health needs. Get ready to navigate the path to better health with knowledge and confidence. Dialogue section. Emily: Hi Ben. It's great to connect. I was just thinking about my last annual checkup and how much I rely on clear communication with my doctor. What's your initial thought on the experience of visiting the doctor? Ben: Hi Emily. Always a pleasure to chat. For me, visiting the doctor can sometimes feel a bit intimidating. There's the waiting, then the quick consultation. I often feel rushed. My initial thought is usually about remembering all my symptoms. What's your primary strategy for a successful doctor's visit? Emily: For me, it's all about preparation. I write down all my symptoms, any questions I have, and a list of my current medications. This helps me stay organized and ensures I don't forget anything important once I'm in the consultation room. My biggest fear is leaving an appointment feeling unheard or that I haven't conveyed the full picture of my health. It would be a real missed opportunity for proper care. Ben: I completely understand that, Emily. I often leave and then remember something crucial. My biggest challenge has been overcoming the feeling of being dismissed or that my concerns aren't taken seriously, especially when symptoms are vague. It took a while to learn how to be more assertive without being confrontational. That feeling of being unheard can be incredibly frustrating. Emily: Certainly can. What's one unexpected win or a positive outcome you've had during a doctor's visit, perhaps overcoming an initial apprehension? Ben: Believe it or not, I once had a doctor who patiently listened to all my minor, seemingly unrelated symptoms and actually connected the dots to a specific, easily treatable deficiency. It felt like a major triumph of diagnostic work. And oddly, the nurse providing a comforting explanation of a procedure really put me at ease. Their empathy was surprisingly reassuring. Emily: That's truly wonderful, Ben. Finding a doctor who genuinely listens is a game changer. Those moments of clear explanation and empathy can genuinely turn the tide on a potentially anxious visit. For me, a profound win is when my doctor not only explains a diagnosis clearly but also involves me in the decision-making process for my treatment. Feels like a collaborative effort which builds so much trust. And receiving clear instructions for follow-up care is always a major victory. Then, being involved in the decisions is crucial. It makes you feel like an active participant, not just a patient. What's the most memorable misconception you personally encountered or even held about doctor visits or medical advice? Emily: Well, a common misconception I used to hold was that doctors always have all the answers immediately, and that if they couldn't diagnose something quickly, it meant nothing was wrong. I realized later that medicine is complex and sometimes it takes time, tests, and even specialist referrals to get to the bottom of an issue. It taught me the importance of patience and persistence in seeking answers. Ben: That's a really important point, Emily. My most memorable misconception was believing that if I looked up my symptoms online, I would understand my condition completely. While online research can be helpful, it often led to excessive anxiety and self-diagnosis, which was usually wrong. It was a real wake-up call about the dangers of relying solely on unverified information and the importance of professional medical expertise. Emily, goodness. How on earth did you resolve that tendency to self-diagnose and become more confident in the medical process? Ben, it involved actively choosing to trust my doctor even if I still did some preliminary research. I learned to use online resources for information but not for diagnosis. I also started asking more targeted questions, rather than just presenting my own conclusions. It definitely built my advocacy skills and taught me to approach healthcare with a more balanced perspective. What strategies do you typically use to mitigate the common anxieties associated with doctor visits, like fear of needles or bad news? Emily, I try to be incredibly proactive in managing my own anxiety. For needle phobia, I openly communicate it to the nurse or doctor beforehand, and I focus on deep breathing techniques. For potential bad news, I bring a trusted friend or family member for emotional support and to help remember details. And I always aim to write down key takeaways from the conversation immediately after the visit. That significantly reduces post-appointment stress. A clear understanding of my health insurance also helps alleviate financial worries, which can be a huge source of stress. Ben, that's incredibly smart, Emily. I'm actively trying to be more assertive about my anxieties. Sometimes just saying, "I'm a bit nervous about this," makes a huge difference. I also find it helpful to visualize a positive outcome. It's like a mental warm-up. Emily, absolutely. Do you have any advice for someone facing their very first major doctor's visit, perhaps feeling completely overwhelmed by the prospect? Ben, I'd say first, don't hesitate to ask questions. There are no stupid questions when it comes to your health. Second, bring a list of everything you want to discuss. And third, if something doesn't feel right, seek a second opinion. Your health is paramount. Emily, excellent, incredibly practical advice. And perhaps on that note, encourage them to celebrate the small victories throughout their healthcare journey, like successfully articulating a complex symptom or understanding a new treatment plan. Ben, definitely. Every clear conversation, every symptom explained, every successful treatment is a mini triumph in the ongoing journey of managing our health. It's a lifelong marathon filled with opportunities for learning and empowerment. Practice section. Part 1. Vocabulary of visiting the doctor. Let's review some key vocabulary and phrases related to visiting the doctor that Emily and Ben used. Intimidating. Frightening or awe-inspiring, especially in a way that makes one feel inadequate or insecure. Oh, think about what makes visiting the doctor sometimes feel intimidating. A preparation. The action or process of getting ready for something. Oh, why is preparation key for an effective doctor's visit? A missed opportunity. A chance to do something that is not taken, often leading to regret. Oh, how could lack of preparation lead to a missed opportunity for proper care? Or dismissed. Treated as unworthy of serious consideration. Oh, what does it feel like to have your concerns dismissed by a doctor? Assertive. Having or showing a confident and forceful personality. Oh, why is it important to be assertive when discussing your health? Unheard. Not listened to or acknowledged. Oh, what are the consequences of feeling unheard by a medical professional? A major triumph. A great success or victory. An outstanding achievement. Oh, what would be a major triumph during a challenging doctor's visit? A diagnostic work. The process of identifying the nature of a disease or other problem by examination of the symptoms. Oh, what does diagnostic work involve when a patient has vague symptoms? A empathy. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Oh, how can a doctor's empathy impact a patient's experience? A reassuring. Making someone feel less worried or afraid. Restoring confidence. Oh, why are clear explanations often reassuring during a medical consultation? A game changer. An event, idea, or procedure that affects a significant shift in the current way of doing or thinking about something. Oh, what makes a truly listening doctor a game changer? Turn the tide. To reverse the general development or course of a situation. Oh, how can a positive interaction turn the tide on an anxious doctor's visit? A major victory, a significant win or success. Oh, what makes receiving clear follow-up instructions a major victory? Memorable misconception, an unforgettable mistaken belief or idea. Oh, what's a memorable misconception you've had about healthcare? Patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. Oh, why is patience sometimes necessary in the diagnostic process? Persistence, the fact of continuing in an opinion or course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Oh, when might persistence be needed in seeking a diagnosis? Anxiety, a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an event or something with an uncertain outcome. Oh, how can online self-diagnosis lead to anxiety? Is self-diagnosis the diagnosis or identification of a disease or illness in oneself? Oh, what are the dangers of relying on self-diagnosis? Resolve, to settle or find a solution to a problem or difficulty. Oh, how do you resolve a tendency to self-diagnose? Advocacy skills, the ability to speak or act in favor of or on behalf of yourself or others. Oh, how can you improve your advocacy skills in healthcare? Mitigate the common anxieties, to make the typical worries less severe or painful. Oh, what strategies can mitigate the common anxieties of doctor visits? Proactive, creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened. Oh, how can being proactive help manage pre-appointment anxiety? Post-appointment stress, worry or tension experienced after a medical visit. Oh, what causes post-appointment stress, and how can it be reduced? Alleviate, to make suffering, deficiency, or a problem less severe. Oh, how can understanding insurance alleviate financial worries? Paramount, more important than anything else, supreme. Oh, why is your health considered paramount? A mini triumph, a small but significant success or victory. Oh, what constitutes a mini triumph during a doctor's visit? Part 2. Reflecting on your doctor visit experiences. Think about your own experiences with doctor visits, whether routine or for a specific concern. Answer the following questions. What makes visiting the doctor feel either intimidating or reassuring for you? What was one win or positive experience you had during a doctor's visit, perhaps because of effective communication or a particularly empathetic professional? Have you ever encountered or held a memorable misconception about medical care or symptoms that later proved incorrect? Describe it. In your opinion, why is it important to be assertive and to advocate for yourself during a medical appointment? What proactive steps do you or would you take to mitigate the common anxieties associated with doctor visits, e.g., fear of needles, receiving bad news? How do you ensure your concerns are not dismissed and that you feel heard by your medical professional? If you had a major triumph during a doctor's visit, what was it and what made it so successful? Part 3. Practicing phrases for discussing doctor visits. Imagine you are talking to a friend about an upcoming or past doctor's visit, sharing advice and experiences. Practice using the following phrases in your conversation. I'm trying to be really organized for my next appointment. Preparation is key. I always try to be assertive so my concerns aren't dismissed. It was a major triumph when the doctor finally figured out what was wrong. I used to have this memorable misconception that all symptoms had immediate diagnoses. I'm learning to mitigate the common anxieties by being more proactive. I want to make sure I don't have any missed opportunities to ask questions. The nurse's empathy was so reassuring, it really turned the tide for me. It feels like a mini triumph every time I clearly articulate my symptoms. Understanding my insurance helped alleviate a lot of my financial anxiety. Practice incorporating these phrases naturally into your conversation, aiming for fluidity and confidence. Part 4. Role-playing a scenario. Preparing for a doctor's visit. Imagine a friend is feeling anxious about an upcoming doctor's visit for an unexplained symptom. You want to help them prepare and feel more confident. Take turns with your friend expressing their worries and you offering advice. Friend, I have a doctor's appointment next week for this persistent cough, and I'm feeling really intimidated. I always forget what I want to say. I completely get that feeling. My best advice is thorough preparation. Write down every symptom you've had even if they seem minor. And list all your questions beforehand. Friend, that's a good idea. I'm also worried they'll just dismiss it or that I won't feel heard. That's a common fear. You need to be assertive. Explain clearly why you're concerned. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if something isn't clear. Remember, your health is paramount. Friend, what if it's something serious? I'm getting a lot of anxiety from looking things up online. That's a memorable misconception many of us have. Online research can be good for general information, but avoid self-diagnosis. Trust your doctor for the diagnostic work. If you need to, bring someone with you for support. That can really alleviate some of that stress. Friend, that's true. I just want to make sure it's not a missed opportunity to get answers. Exactly. Be proactive about your comfort too. If you're nervous about something, mention it. A doctor's empathy can really turn the tide of an anxious visit. Every clear conversation is a mini triumph. Narrator. As Emily and Ben's experiences vividly illustrate, visiting the doctor is an essential part of our healthcare journey, and it doesn't have to be a source of overwhelming anxiety. By embracing preparation, practicing clear communication, and learning to advocate for our own needs, we can transform these appointments into collaborative efforts towards better health. Our bodies are complex, and our health is paramount, making effective engagement with medical professionals a crucial skill for a well-lived life. Thank you for joining the English Learning Podcast today. We hope this episode has provided you with valuable language and comprehensive insights for understanding and confidently discussing your visits to the doctor. We'll be back soon with more engaging conversations to support your English.